Hey, I feel like making a rotting skeleton. So you bought a skeleton from Spirit Halloween. 50% off. Nice. But it do be looking a little plastic. It do be looking a little cheap. I didn't say that, you did. So yeah, we are gonna make our skeleton look more realistic, like decaying, whatever I feel like, honestly. I'll probably do a couple of variations to him along the lines, maybe. Anyways, I'm gonna put him together now, so have fun watching that. Bye. This is how we make your boy. I think his head is in here. What really did in my boy? Oh, dang, big ass legs, bro. Share some leg with the rest of us. Damn, this dude. Is this me? Big ass bones. Big body ass bitch. And there's a pole. Cover. I need a scissor. Grip. I've got the base assembled. Big as hell. He's got me. Chill, bro. He's probably in here. Back up. Haha! Mini pole. Whoa. I'm gonna take his little skin off. I didn't like that. Damn, I did not think that screw was gonna be this long. Your teeth look mad fake, gang. Damn. Toes is crazy. That toe game is actually crazy. Put them toes away, bro. Dang! Look at how long that second toe is. He gonna come back to haunt me, bro. There's no screw for you. I have no idea what those go to, but we found the Benny one. Yes! Dang, pulling down my shirt, dang. Jank up fingers, bro. Huzzah! Bring your big back ass over here, boy. Why do I say things like that? There's little screws. And I definitely, totally did not lose one on the floor earlier in the video. That definitely did not happen. Hey, we're in the future again. You're gonna need some contact cement. This one is Barge. And you're gonna wanna get Copic ink refills, some latex-free gloves, 99% alcohol, a respirator, 1-inch chip brushes, some latex. Bro, look at this fucking picture my mom just sent me. That's a passion fruit, by the way. And a turkey carver. Hey, we outside again. So there's a few more things you'll need to do this project. Some disposable cups, upholstery foam, and a hair dryer. This is just a Revlon one I had. I'm making a poor attempt at cutting this upholstery foam in half with my turkey carver so that I can have a thinner piece of foam to work with. This is going to be some leftover mass on the skeleton around the hips and ribs to give the skeleton some shape. I definitely could have used a thinner piece, but now I'm tapering off the edges of the foam with the turkey carver so that they are as thin as possible. We want to blend this foam into the skeleton, and if we have hard, thick edges, they'll show up on camera and look fake. But before we continue, I started making latex pieces. So for these latex sheets, you're gonna need some latex, mass making latex. I believe this is RD407 from Monster Maker. This is one of my melamine boards. You can use any clean surface, but I would recommend doing this entire process outside because we are working with ammonia in the latex, and this contact cement does have a strong odor as well. I'm brushing a very thin layer of latex on this board in different size sections. For this run of latex, I did 4 layers. I think 3 to 4 layers thin is good to work with, but make sure each layer is completely dry before adding a new layer on top. You'll know that it's dry when it's no longer a white color, and if you run your finger over it or tap it, it does not move or wrinkle. I'm doing a light layer of contact cement on any surface that the latex will be on top of, and this contact cement stippling with the brush gives a nice organic texture as well. Brush the contact cement onto the foam starting with the edges. I'm going from the inside outward so that I don't mess them up. Contact cement needs to be on both surfaces that we are trying to glue together, hence the name contact. It will not hold as well if it's not in contact with itself, so that's why we do the base layer on the skeleton too. I'm going back and forth layering the latex when it dries and applying foam and contact cement. I'm now applying the foam a little around the inside of the ribs and hugging around the bottom and touching the base of the spine as well. I did have too big of a piece, so I cut some off and applied some more contact cement. And I do let the cement go off, meaning I let it start to dry a bit and get tacky before applying the foam or the latex. This forms a stronger bond than if you were to just apply it straight away when it's still wet. With the hip piece, I'm lining it up right up against the edge of the foam on our rib piece on the spine. Just tap the edges to adhere them, and I just fold the foam around the piece where it naturally wants to sit. I'm applying some smaller pieces of foam to different areas for some continuity throughout the piece, and this will entirely depend on what kind of decay you're looking for. Decaying skeletons found in a desert area are completely different from those found in muggy, swampy areas, and the state of decay will be different based on time, weather conditions, cause of death, and more. We are going to make an organic stringy webby texture now by taking the blow dryer on the highest setting but no heat, and take the chip brush loaded with cement and tap on the piece with the dryer pointing in the direction you want the texture to go in. This incredible technique I learned from watching Gary Tunnicliffe, an incredible FX artist on Stan Winston's School Online. Please go check them out. He has worked on many films like Hellraiser, Pumpkinhead, Scream movies, and so many more. He did say this was one of the many techniques techniques they used to give texture to the eggs for the original Alien movies as well, which is super fucking cool. I'm putting more contact cement on top of the foam now so the latex has something to grab onto, as well as more cement for texture. Now that the webbing has gotten a little tacky, I'm taking some of the same latex we are using off to the side and just dabbing a small amount on top of some of this webbing to strengthen it and give it some more thickness. And let this fully dry before adding anything on top. Okay, now the latex sheets are made and all dry. This one has 4 layers. I'm just peeling up the edges and running my hand underneath it so it's stretched out on my hand. And I'm just stretching it on top of the ribs in the foam and pressing it down to adhere. And anywhere that's not sticking is probably because there isn't contact cement, and the lining edges of these latex sheets are going to be a little thick. So I'm just tearing off those thick edges. You'll see I press down on the thin piece of the sheet right before the thick edge and then tear off that thick edge, leaving behind the thinner layer. And I didn't let the latex on the skeleton fully dry, so that's why it's a little gooey. So make sure you let it all dry, and if you need to reapply the cement, do that and let it get tacky before applying the latex on top. I like the texture it brings to the piece. It reminds me of connected tissues and fascia around the body, and because it's latex, it's gonna dry down to a nice yellowish brownish color, and it's gonna have a uniqueness and randomness to it, which I think makes it look more organic. I'm just going back and forth with latex. Now I'm doing 3 layers instead of 4, and the webbing cement techniques throughout the rest of the project to make this decaying look. I'm doing this latex sheet technique over top most of the joint areas, especially to try and hide any hardware that may be sticking out. You can also dab a little latex on them before applying the sheet as well to try to hide any metal color and shine from showing underneath. Okay, now that everything is completely dry, I'm taking the Copic ink refills in burnt umber and black with a ratio of about 3:1 or 5:1. I switched to 5:1 around the last couple batch that I made because I just wanted to cover a bigger area. So that's 3 drops of burnt umber and 1 drop of black to take away some of the red, and depending on the darkness I want to. And mixing those two with some 99% alcohol, a heavy splash, and just paint it on and let the ink run into all the cracks and crevices on its own. This technique allows for a staining like coloring. It's allowing the ink to run off and be transparent in some areas and opaque in others, and the alcohol evaporates off and you're just left with the pigment. It is such a cool technique that I also learned from watching Gary Tunnicliffe's lessons, and I'm layering this as well. Going back, I would do more layering with latex and cement on the skull to give it some more texture. Hey, my skeleton guy is not done. Surprise. The back is not done. What I will show you is the front. Let me go get him. Can you see him? The answer is no. You only see his crotch. Freak. So, ooh, yeah, that's nice right there. We've got layers of latex, layers of barge or cement, contact cement. I tried to hide these little metal springs and bearings. What I'll be talking about, like what I would do different the next time, and most likely when I finish the back, this is what I will do differently too. Focus a lot on covering these metal pieces, which I did for a lot of them. Like these metal pieces right here are covered a little bit better than, let's say, like these two pieces. Only if you look close though. Here's the back. Oh yeah, you can definitely see that one a little bit more. But I do love the way he came out, especially like with a lot of this barge here, these latex pieces up here. I'm loving the way this looks in here with the Copic ink techniques, especially over on this side. There's a lot of different texture, a lot of different coloring. This is more foam. If I were to do this piece again, I would definitely go and cover it with more barge or some latex. But I like the difference between this latex and barge versus just barge covering the bone here. I like that contrast a lot. Alright, so this is our chest. Here's our ribs and our chest. It's got some upholstery foam, layer of latex with our contact cement, our barge, and the blowing technique. Yeah, I love the technique. These like, I don't know, tendrils? I love the way they look. Look super cool, super decaying, especially up here. Some hand action. Alright, so what I would do different. Definitely, maybe try to find a different skeleton. I did buy him on Amazon. I can definitely make this look a lot better too by like really trying to hide all these metal pieces, and even maybe going in and taking out some of those like yellow and red little plastic pieces. And definitely going in the inside, making sure I get all of the inside layers of barge and latex really thorough, covering all these screws for sure for camera readiness. We don't want the camera to catch a screw in our skeleton. That would suck. This piece right here, I probably file down or try to find a skeleton that doesn't have this huge fucking nail. That sucks. Let's get a nice zoom in of our chest. I like that a lot. I think he looks really cool. I love this neck. I do wish his jaw kept falling out a lot. So there was a spring in here too. I wish I could find a skeleton that didn't have this spring right here that was so visible. If anything, I would probably just cut this out and super glue the jaw pieces together as much as I could in this like half, well, this is all the way open, but I try to do it in like maybe like a half open or position or something like that, because then you get these really cool latex pieces, like that stretchiness. Oh, love that. Love this over the eye decay. I'll do a zoom in of that too. Why am I out of breath? Let's talk about his hands. Can you sit? These came out really cool. I think I would try to find some way to cover these metal springs more, even if that means maybe going in and maybe next time painting them white and then covering them with latex and Barge, because they're just kind of dark still in there. Love that a few of them stick together. How about that? I like this side more than this side. This latex piece was a little bit thick. Like these joints a lot. Here's a good look at his elbow. I really like his arms, honestly. That's a really nice. This metal piece definitely came out, but still. I would maybe even go in, actually this looks pretty good though. The Copic inks really do a great job of simulating decay and veining. I know you can't see this, but I'm gonna try. Can you see these almost like vein-like textures? And that's from the Copic ink settling in these fine little lines. And I think it's super organic, very cool. He is quite heavy. He does have big ass legs. Foot. For the free ski, love his face. Really cool texture in the mouth, in the eyes. Love the Copic inks. They really settle in all those fine lines. I would definitely maybe go in the eye sockets first. Anything on the inside, I think I would do first. And then work from the outside, because once the outside's done, it's really hard to like move past these fragile tendrils without breaking them. So I would suggest maybe doing the inside because it's very white on the inside. Maybe even replacing his teeth because his teeth are like kind of solid together. Love this eye. Maybe would even go in with some airbrush. But I think he's really cool. I think he could definitely pass the dead test. I'll show you this arm too. This is what my guy, his crotch looks like. Hello crotch again. Let's see the back. This is what he used to look like as a contrast. Yeah. Bleached. This is the foam. You can definitely see that big difference. I would definitely cover this with Barge and latex so that that ink can get that fun texture rather than looking like foam, for sure. And this is definitely salvageable too, just because I didn't finish this or I didn't put enough Barge or latex on the foam doesn't mean like I can't go back and do it again just because there's ink on it now. Like you can layer this and keep redoing it and redoing it. Hopefully I plan on doing some cool stuff with him later too, not just this one project. I thought it would be cool if I could make him look like he was a decaying skeleton, like from the Last of Us universe, where he's got like all this fungus growth. I thought that would be pretty cool. Or maybe like a decaying zombie from the Last of Us. Like I can maybe do like a guts version. That's what he used to look like from the back of his crotch too. I would maybe pull these yellow things out for sure. But yeah, this is my guy. You got that? Oh wow, that's definitely tan. Definitely got that tan on him. I really enjoyed this project. Definitely gonna finish him later on. Should I take him down? I feel like he's lonely up there. Let's have him sit on Daddy's lap. He likes to be carried princess style. Thank you everyone for watching this video with me and my first skeleton guy. This is my first time doing this, if you couldn't tell. Thank you so much for being patient with my upload, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. You're fucking heavy. I'm not fat shaming. Well, don't look at wiener. Can I say wiener on YouTube?